All right, so let's get started in a comfortable seated position. Be cross-legged. I'm going to be cross-legged. You can sit in Sukhasan, Siddhasana. Sukhasana, you have your ankles. If I have this right, I think your ankles are stacked on top of each other. So like in just like a regular cross-legged position. And then Siddhasana, they're a little more, your knees are a little more out wide. Maybe your heels are closer to your pelvis. Whatever's comfortable for you. So let's just sit up tall and curvy. Hi, Celia, welcome. Thanks so much for joining me. So if you can, soften your eyes closed, and then we'll roll our shoulders up by our ears, back and down. I'm just gonna mute everyone because I hear an echo. I actually don't even know how to do that. Mute. Okay, cool. All right, so settle in here, really melt into your seat. Let your hands fall wherever they do on your thighs. Maybe rub your thighs back and forth, get some friction between your hands. Maybe you just have them steady and still. Have your chin tucked a little bit. Again, with your eyes closed, really tune in here. Come inward, let the outside distraction stay outside and come inside for a second. Relax the shoulders, sit up tall. Let's begin to deepen our breaths. Let's inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale, sigh. Let it out. Of course, I muted you all, so I can't hear your sighs. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale, sigh. Let's do that one more time. Inhale deeply through your nose. Exhale, let it out through the mouth. Keep filling the belly with air. And then letting go what no longer serves you with your exhales. Feel the belly swell. And then feel it draw back with your exhales. Begin to feel the ground beneath your feet. Feel your hands on your knees or your thighs. Feel your pelvis tilt forward. Feel your spine long and curvy, your elbows dripping from your armpits, your shoulders melting away from your ears, and feel a lifted quality from your ear tips. Just get centered, get grounded here. I find myself when I come to a yoga practice, if I don't set an intention for myself, I'm just kind of doing everything. I'm just kind of going through the motions, almost like flailing, all right, cool. Hopefully my breath will hold me steady in this pose. But with an intention, I can find myself really centering and finding my core foundation. So hopefully if you didn't come with this intention today, we can set one together and just really getting tight with our core, really focusing on the center foundation of our body, and then letting the limbs, flail with control. So letting the limbs, find the balance for our center, letting the limbs be flexible and reach as far and extend and expand, but also while integrating and coming in and engaging with the core. So we find this steadiness, this balance today. And maybe you can take this with you off the mat. So we'll stay here for a second. We'll slide our hands to our knees, keeping the eyes closed if you'd like. Begin to lean forward with your chest, and then exhale to the right, lean to the right, and then come to the back, and then lean to the left. So this is called, I think, stir the pot, making big circles. Just gonna wake up and start moving the spine. come backwards, curling the spine, lean to the left, and then extending the spine as you lean forward, and then to the right and to the back. Move with your breath. So make your inhales maybe forward, to the right. Maybe your exhales come when you lean to the back, to the left, however works for you. Maybe you do an inhale forward, exhale to the right, inhale, tuck the chin, round the spine, exhale, come to the left. Whatever works for you, but move in this slow motion, continuing to move clockwise, stretching the arms as you lean back. And then once you get to the back with the chin tucked, stay here. Maybe you roll out the neck a little, bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Inhale through the middle, exhale, bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Do that one more time. Exhale, come to center, drip the left ear to the left shoulder. Exhale, come through center, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale. And then we'll come back and let's reverse our circle. So we'll lean to the right, come forward, bend the elbows, lean the left, tuck the chin, round the spine, come towards the back, lean to the right, move forward. So keep moving with your breath. Keeping the inhales deep and the exhales lengthy, getting rid of any stale breath at the bottom of the lungs. Then we'll pause here wherever you are. We'll come to center, sitting up tall, and we'll inhale, sweep the arms out and up by our ears, and then twist to the right, bringing the left palm to the right thigh and bringing the right hand behind you for this twist. Really broaden the collarbones, lift up through the heart, and send your gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale to grow taller. Exhale, maybe you twist a little deeper. Still early, so be gentle with yourself. Pressing into that left palm, maybe you can send your gaze further past your right shoulder. Keep deepening the breath. Use it as your vehicle today. Keep twisting at the shoulders and then slowly turn your gaze so it's over your left shoulder. Tuck your chin and enjoy this nice stretch here. So we're looking the opposite way. Keep pressing your left palm into your right thigh and inhale the right arm up and over so you're leaning to the left. So you're feeling a nice stretch on the left side body with the right arm still crossing the body. Maybe you tuck the chin and roll the gaze up over underneath the right arm. Breathing here for a couple breaths, then release that right hand to the earth and lean further to the left. Spinning the right palm to the earth, creating some type of buoyancy in the left arm so you're not locking it out or anything. And then we'll inhale, come all the way back up to center. We'll sweep the arms out and up, bringing the ears, and then we'll twist to the left, bringing the right palm to the left thigh and the left hand behind you. Again, really growing tall in the curvy spine, opening up the chest, spreading the collarbones, then spin your gaze over your left shoulder. Twisting here. Breathing deeply. Bringing out the digestive organs. Really inhaling to lift and exhaling to twist. Stay twisted And then tuck the chin and send the gaze over the right shoulder. So feeling a nice stretch in the neck here. Keep pressing the right palm into the left thigh, and then lift the left arm and lean to the right. Palm facing the ground. Keeping the right arm crossing, tuck your chin, and maybe you send your gaze under your left arm. Stretching this left side body. Release the right arm from the left thigh and bring the right hand to the earth so you can lean a little further. Look down at your right hand and sort of bounce your way back up. So we'll come back up to sit. And then we'll release the arms by the side. So let's take whatever we're sitting on out from under us and come sit flat on the floor or wherever you are and bring your legs out in front of you. We're gonna move through a mini vinyasa. You've practiced with me, we did this before. I enjoy it. So let's sweep the arms out and up with a big inhale. Then exhale, slowly fold over your legs. Slowly come back up, stacking the spine, vertebra on top of vertebra. And then inhale to windmill your arms back up and exhale, fold over your legs. Move slowly here, but with your breath. So you might need to slow your breath down, lengthening your inhales and extending your exhales as you fold. Rolling yourself back up and then reaching with your inhales and folding with your exhales. Folding kindly with your body. Again, it's still early, so you don't want to go too deep. We'll move through these mini vinyasas a few more times, a few more breaths. And then the next time you fold over your legs, round the spine, let your arms and hands fall wherever they fall, and just stay here for a couple breaths. Feeling the stretch in the low back. You might not be feeling it yet in your hamstrings, or you might. Letting the neck easy, tuck the chin. Let your head just hang here. And then slowly once more, we'll come back up to sit and we'll flip over onto hands and knees. Stacking the wrists beneath the shoulders, the knees beneath the hips. Come into this tabletop position. Tops of the feet on the floor. Really puff up through the shoulder blades here. Spread your fingers out wide and just settle in. Maybe sway your hips back and forth. Then we'll move again with our breath through this cat and cow movement with our spine. So we'll inhale to lift the tailbone, drop the belly, open the collarbones, and lift the gaze for a cow pose. Then exhale, tuck the tailbone, round through the spine, release the head between the shoulders for cat pose. Then starting at the hips, lift the hips, drop the belly, broaden the collarbones, lift the gaze. Exhale, press in through your palms, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, send the gaze to your navel or thighs. Moving with the breath, inhale to curl up, lifting everything. Exhale, curling in, emptying out. Inhale, lifting your hips, sinking your belly, squeezing the shoulder blades. Exhale, tucking in, releasing chin to chest. Again, keep moving with your breath through this movement. Maybe your eyes are closed, maybe your eyes are open. I'm gonna try and play some music. Let's see how this sounds. I don't want it to take away from my voice. Maybe you add any other movements that feel good. You know, tuck your toes, send your hips back to one side, stretching the arms out in front of you. Maybe do some figure 8 movement with your spine, including your head and the neck. The next time you inhale, come to a neutral spine. And we'll extend the right leg behind us, long behind us. Just rock back and forth on the ball of your foot. Roll out the ankle. Then lift the right leg and roll out the ankle, squeeze the toes, flex the foot, point the foot. Keep that leg lifted. Navel to spine, really engage the core. We'll inhale to lift the left arm along beside the ear. Stay here for a second. Maybe you roll out the wrist as well as the ankle. Then we'll inhale to lift everything. Really point the toes, spread the fingers out wide. Exhale, elbow to knee, curling in, tuck the chin. Inhale, press through that right palm, extend the arm and leg, and then exhale, curling in for a little crunch here. Inhale, keep moving with the breath, extending the limbs. Exhale, elbow to knee or knee to nose. Keep moving with your breath here. Exhaling to crunch. Inhale to lift. Really use the core here. So doing your best not to flail the limbs. The next time you inhale, stay here. Maybe you reach behind you, reach for that foot, just to get a nice little stretch here, a mini back bend. And then exhale, release. Bringing the hand back to the mat, the knee back beneath the hip. And just pause for a second, see how you feel. Rock the hips back and forth. Then we'll stretch the left leg long behind us, roll back and forth on the ball of the foot. Lift that leg, roll the ankle, squeeze the toes, point the toes. Feel how it feels to have the hips not level with each other. So, you know, dipping that left hip, lifting it up, and then try to find that sweet spot right in the middle, keeping the sacrum leveled. Just keep the leg lifted. Inhale to lift the right arm by the ear. Maybe make a fist, crunch your fingers, you know, stretch it out here, roll out the wrist. Inhale to lift everything. Exhale, crunch it. Knee to nose, elbow to knee. Inhale to lift. Really grounding in that left palm. Exhale to crunch. Inhale, try not to really crunch that shoulder down, the left shoulder. Keep it away from the ear. Inhale to extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Keeping the core tight, keeping the foundation strong. Keep integrating the upper arm bones and the hip bones, and then reach through the toes and the fingers. Beautiful. Next time you inhale and lengthen, stay here. Reach behind you if you'd like, grab foot or ankle, lift up, pressing the shin behind you, opening the chest, and exhale, release everything to the mat. Feel how you feel. Sway back and forth. Then we'll tuck the toes, send the hands about a handprint forward. We'll lean forward, having the shoulders in front of the wrist. Then exhale, plunge the chest and chin to the mat. So this is Ashtha Pranam, 8-point prayer. Keeping the hips high, grounding the toes, the knees, the hands in the chest and chin. Feeling awkward in this 8-point prayer, breathe as you feel the curviness in the spine. Then we'll inhale to press into the palms, lift the chest, point the toes for baby cobra. Roll the shoulders up, back and down, away from the ears. Breathe here for a moment, get acquainted with the pose. Then we'll inhale to lift back up through hands and knees and stay here. We'll lift the right leg and bring the foot next to the right thumb. So we're in this low squat. Grab your foot, grab your ankle, whatever you're gonna do, just get it there. Feel out this lunge. Roll out the left hip. Feel how you feel. Then inhale to lift the chest, and then exhale, straighten the front leg and slightly fold over, keeping the spine nice and long. Inhale, bend the knee, come forward, lift the chest. Exhale, lean hips back, straighten the front leg. Inhale, lift up, bend the knee. Exhale, straighten the front leg, keeping the neck long again, tucking the chin. Moving with the breath. Again, it might feel like, your stomach can just lean on your right thigh for stability. That's fine. But again, try to really hone in and come into the center of the foundation. Keep moving with your breath. Once you come to an extent with your leg extended, stay here for a couple breaths. Let's just feel this out, stretching the hamstring. Maybe you point the toes, have the toes grounded, or maybe you lift them. And then you tuck the chin and have the knee to nose here, or as close as it can get. Stretching that right outer hip, stretching the hamstrings. Really feel it. And then we'll come to roll back onto the right sole of the foot, plant the palms, and then place that right knee back beneath the hip and bring the left foot next to the left thumb. Feel this out, rolling out the right hip here. Press firmly in that left foot, lift the chest up, inhale, broaden the collarbones, then exhale, send the hips back, lengthen the front leg and fold. Inhale, bend the knee, bring the sole of the foot to the mat, lift. Exhale, straighten the legs, send the hips back and fold. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. Beautiful. If you have any questions, please turn on your mic or anything. We can chat. Next time you exhale with the leg extended, stay here. Breathe into that hamstring. Send breath to the muscle. Feel the calf lengthen with the toes pointed. Maybe lift the toes, sink a little deeper with the hips. Feel the back of the leg stretching. Then we'll inhale to come back to the sole of the foot, bend the front knee, lift the chest, plant the palms, and then we'll send that knee back beneath the hips, tuck the toes, begin to send the hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Maybe you walk your hands out a little bit in front of you, keeping them shoulder width distance apart. Then relax your head and send your gaze back towards your ankles or your thighs, and make sure your feet are about hip width distance apart. Bend one knee and then the other, walking your dog. Find stillness and start to sway your hips slightly back and forth. Really engaging, again, your upper arms and spinning the triceps towards your ears so the biceps turn outwards. Pressing your heels back and down in space as your inner thighs spin inward towards the back wall behind you. Pressing firmly into your hands, lift high onto the balls of your feet, and then exhale, lower your heels. Inhale, lift to the balls of your feet. Exhale, lower the heels. Then we'll inhale to ripple forward to a high plank pose. Exhale, come back to downward dog. Inhale, ripple forward to a plank, like the top end of a push-up here. And then exhale, come back to down dog. So moving like a wave here. We'll just do one more. Exhale, back to down dog. Nice. Now let's take a slow stroll to the top of the mat. Really slow, bringing one foot directly in front of the other. Feel the back of the leg stretching as you make it to the top. Once you arrive, spread your feet out hip width distance apart. It's like 2/5 of a distance if you want to do that. And then just fold, really folding at the hips here, swaying back and forth, maybe grabbing opposite wrists or opposite elbows. Perhaps you interlace your fingers behind the base of the skull. Whatever gets your head heavy and your weight towards the balls of your feet. Sometimes I like to wrap my arms around my legs, drawing my torso closer. Sway here, breathing here. And then on your next exhale, release everything. If you can, close your eyes, and then with a slight bend in your knees, begin to slowly roll up to stand. Slowly stacking each vertebra on top of each other. And then once you arrive, let your head arrive last and roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Finding this firmness, this steadiness in your Tadasana. Maybe you, shift back and forth, moving the weight from one foot and the other. Feel how you can displace the weight through all four corners of your foot. And then fire up here, get firm in your legs, tilting your pelvis forward, pointing your tailbone to the heel of your feet, and relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, feeling like you're lifted through the ear tips. Again, with a soft gaze or your eyes closed, really turn inward here as you arrive in your mountain pose. Pose makes you feel strong, makes you feel awake, makes you feel vast, like a mountain, like the top of a mountain. Arrive here. And then we'll inhale, sweep the arms out and up, palms press overhead, gaze lifts. Exhale, dive through the midline, drawing a line with your hands, fold deeply in half for Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, palms to shins, neck long, collarbones wide. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, and step it back to a high plank pose. Again, stay here, firing up through the shoulder blades, pressing the heels back in space. We'll exhale the knees to the floor, the chest and chin back in this awkward caterpillar shape, Ashtha Pranam. Inhale, pressing through the palms, lift the chest, point the toes, bring the elbows towards the midline here for baby cobra. Then exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, send them up and back for downward facing dog. Breathing here. Again, integrating those arm bones as you really press down through the thumb and the pointer finger. Then we'll inhale to rise through the balls of the feet. Exhale, step, walk, or hop to the top of the mat. Land with a long spine here, and then exhale, fold deeply in half for Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Make a big windspan. Palms press overhead. Exhale, hands into heart center, and then release them by your sides. We'll move through that sun salutation again. Inhale to sweep the arms out and up. Lift the gaze. Exhale, fold deeply in half for Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, thighs press back, palms to shins. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, step it back to a high plank. Now you can keep lowering with Ashtha Pranam or with your knees, however you would like, or stay in this plank and we'll exhale and lower halfway at the arms for Chaturanga. And then inhale, scooping the chest forward, keeping the knees and the thighs lifted the whole time. Exhale, roll over the toes for upward facing dog. So we'll do another sun salutation. You pick how you want to move through your vinyasa with Ashta Pranam or Chaturanga Dandasana, or you can do Chaturanga with knees lowered and then lower like that. Whatever feels good to you. So we're in down dog. Inhale to lift the leg, lift the heels, look past your thumbs. Step, hop or walk to the top of the mat, landing with a long spine, either fingers to the mat or palms to shin. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms out and up, palms press overhead. Exhale, hands into prayer, and release them by your sides. Inhale, sweep the arms as wide as you can, out and up, pressing overhead. Exhale, drawing that line through the midline of the body. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, step or hop back and lower your way with knees or without. Inhale to scoop the chest forward for up dog, keeping the knees lifted, the thighs spinning towards the sky. And then exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Stay here, breathe deeply, sending the breath to the depth of the belly. And then exhaling everything. Press firmly into the palms. Inhale to lift the right leg up and back. Bend the knee so that's pointing towards the sky and start to roll out this hip. That feels good to you. Some people I know like it, some people don't. Roll it one way, then roll it the other. Then we'll inhale to lift that leg back up. Try to keep the hips leveled and the toes pointing to the ground. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, knee to the right elbow. Hover. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, plant the foot between the thumbs. Plant the foot between the thumbs. Step or draw it over. Sorry about that. That was a bad one. We'll stay here. Fire up in this lunge. Fire up that ground down in that right foot. Then inhale to lift all the way up into a crescent lunge. Pressing that left heel back in space. Bringing the arms up by the ears. Really press that left hip forward and tugging that right hip back. Feel that engagement, feel that action, and then press the right shin forward a little bit. Bringing the arms up by the ear, inhale, lift through the fingertips, then exhale, twist the torso to the right side, so the awkward side. Whew. Again, navel to spine, finding that foundation, finding the core as you twist. Keep pressing this left heel back, sending your fingertips in both directions. Inhale here. One more breath. And then we'll come back up, unwind. Let's ground that left heel, bringing it almost parallel to the short edge of the mat. And then check your right foot. Make sure it's bisecting the left heel, either heel to arch or heel to heel alignment. And then open up to warrior two. So gaze is over the right middle finger. Front shin is pressing forward. Now my back's to you. And the right hip is lifting up. Virabhadrasana 2. Pressing firmly in the pinky side toe of the left foot. Inhale to lift the right palm to the sky. Reach forward, up and over to radiate your warrior. Reaching back, let the left hand fall down the leg or for a half bind behind you. I like that too, Tara. And then we'll inhale, come back to warrior two, straighten the front leg, cut this right hip under, send this left hip back, lean the torso forward, and then let the right hand fall to ankle, shin, or the mat, bringing the left hand over the mouth. You want the thumb to kind of line up over the corner of the mouth. Beautiful. Untitled Trikonasana. Triangle pose. Really feel expansive here. I don't know if you're like me, you live in the city, you're constantly on top of people. So really finally grow and feel expansive in all directions. Feel the outer left foot grounding. Feel the left torso, left side of the torso stretching. Feel the whole right side body open. Firm up into that right foot, press in there and let the left arm lift you all the way back up, bending deeply in the front knee for warrior two. We'll cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot, step the right foot back and flow through your vinyasa, with or without knees. Exhale, inhale to scoop the chest forward, pointing the toes, then exhale, tuck the toes, tuck the chin, lift the hips up for down dog. Inhale to lift the left leg up and back. Bend the knee, stack the hip, circle it out. One way, and then the other. Straighten that leg, toes facing the earth, navel to spine. We'll exhale, bend knee to nose. Inhale, lift that leg back up. Again, navel to spine. Exhale, knee to the left elbow. Hover. Inhale, lift that leg back up. Exhale, bend the knee, step the foot between the thumbs. Sending that right heel back in space, fire up through the sole of the left foot. Find your foundation, and then inhale to lift all the way up to a crescent lunge. Pressing that left knee so far forward, you're endeavoring to get the thigh almost parallel to the floor. You might feel shakiness, you might feel unsteady, but as long as your foundation is, I don't want to say rigid, but at least hardening, you're finding your core, you'll find that stability. And then eventually you gain some strength in the quad. We'll inhale to lift through the fingertips, then exhale, twist to the left, opening up. Maybe your palms spin so they're facing the same side. Reaching in all directions, lifting out of that left hip. So we try to lift your torso up, opening up the chest. Inhale, sweep that left arm, both arms by the ears, and then we'll exhale to ground the right foot. Again, heel to archer, heel to heel alignment, and open up for warrior two. This pose it really represents powerfulness and empowerment. You're pressing down with your feet, but you're lifting through your ear tips, and then you're sending the energy out through the fingertips. So you have a lot going on, and then you're steady through the core as you lift the hip, the left hip, so that the quad, the left quad, can have a little, some ease, so it doesn't have all the weight. Once you take the torso and lift it out of the hip, that left quad should feel a little lighter. We'll inhale to lift the left palm to the sky, reach forward and back for radiant warrior, sending the right arm down the leg. Again, feeling expansive in the left side body. Inhale, lift your torso back up and straighten the front leg. Cut that left thigh under, send the right hips back, reach forward with your left fingertips, and then let it fall down to your ankle, shin, or the mat, and then reach up with your right arm. And back into this Untitled Trikonasana, triangle pose. Fall back on your shoulder blades here to really open up the chest. Feeling the left hamstring stretching here. Feeling wide and expansive. Inhale, reach further with your right fingertips. Then exhale, we're gonna exit this side a little differently. Frame the left foot and then step the right foot to meet the left foot. So you're back to the front of your mat. We'll fold deeply here. And then we'll inhale, sweep the arms out and up to come back to Tadasana. So step your left foot about 3.5 feet behind you. You want to have the left toes pointing to the top left corner of your mat, perhaps, or let's say like 10 o'clock if you're looking at a clock. Have your right toes facing forward. We'll bring our arms out to a T and then spin the thumbs down. Sweep the arms behind you, retrieving opposite wrists or opposite elbows. We'll open up the chest, puff up the chest, beam the heart forward, then spin to frame your shoulders over, to square the shoulders over the front leg, and then exhale, fold over your leg. Tucking the chin, having knee to nose. I need to widen my stance, so maybe you feel like you need to as well. For pyramid pose. Also widen your stance, like widen it outwards if you feel unsteady. You don't want to feel like you're in a balance beam. But you should be, again, not like really grabbing your wrists or elbows, but you should be holding them tight enough so that your shoulders are away from your ears and opening your chest. So you have this sort of a slight back bend in the upper body with a forward bend in the legs. Tugging that right hip back, the left hip forward. This is Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. One more breath here. Then we'll inhale to lift all the way up. You can bring hands to hands to hips. Stay here with the feet spread out. Begin to pour weight into that right foot. Again, engaging the core here, we'll start to lift, come forward, lift the left leg and bring the sole of the foot either to the calf, or like the shin, or above the knee onto the thigh for tree pose. Stay here, you can keep your hips on your hands on your hips. You can bring your hands into prayer, finding this balance wherever you are. Maybe you grow your tree taller and expand your arms, reach your arms up. So you're not, again, just standing here. A lot of times I do the dishes like this and I can just balance, but really tug that knee like outward and back. And at the same time, do your best to level your hips out. So I like this. I can actually see what I'm doing. Like Avery, you look great. I can see you. Everyone else I can't really see, but it's okay. But as long as you can feel it, try to tug that left hip down, right hip up as you're pressing that knee back and out. But again, resisting, doing opposites, and then pressing the left sole of the foot into the thigh as you press the thigh against it. So a lot of activation here. Again, if your arms are reaching up, spinning those triceps towards the ears. So spin those pinkies back. And you can stay here. I was going to add in another balancing pose. If you want, you can stay here or grab your toe, your big toe with your two peace fingers, and you can start to stretch. You find balance, bring your right hand to the hip and then start to stretch that left heel forward. All up to you wherever you are. Maybe you widen. I've been dying to do this pose. Hasta Padangasta. Padangasta? I can't remember the name. All right, release that left leg down. Beautiful. We'll come back to the top of the mat, and then we'll step the right leg back about 3.5 feet. Maybe like, for me, it's like 4 feet. Bring the arms out to a T, spin the thumbs down, and then retrieve opposite elbows or wrists. Try to do the opposite arm on top. We can notice. Inhale, beam the heart forward, frame the front leg with the shoulders. Exhale, fold over the leg, tucking the chin. Maybe you find the knee or the nose meets the knee or the shin. Again, keeping length in that spine so that the shoulder blades are kissing and you have a hint of a back bend. Tug that left hip back, bring that right hip forward. Breathing deeply in here, relaxing your toes, relax your jaw, relax your eyebrows. Inhale, tuck your chin, roll yourself back up. Release your arms, bring your hands to your hips. Begin to pour weight into that left foot. Navel to spine, bring that right knee up, and then plant the right sole of the foot to the thigh or to the shin, calf. Keep your hands by your hips or bring your hands into prayer. Find that stability, sending the knee out and back, leveling out your hips, going through your checklist here as you again are continuing to breathe deeply. Maybe grow your branches. Stay in tree pose or take the 2 peace fingers, wrap them around your right big toe, and then bring your knee forward, and you can start to press that heel forward. Keeping the hips leveled. If you chose to do this, you can keep the heel forward or bring it out. Wherever you are, we'll release that right leg down. We'll inhale to sweep the arms out and up. And then exhale, fold, plant the palms, and we'll step it back to down dog. A breath here. And then on your exhale, we'll slowly lower the knees to the mat. We'll sit up tall, come to sit on your heels. Or yeah, you can untuck the toes, whatever works for you. So we're gonna come to camel pose. I haven't done this back bend in a while. So you can stay where you are, whatever you are, if that feels okay on your knees. I like to pad up with a blanket or something just because it's a lot of pressure. We'll have the shins parallel to the mat, and then we'll tuck our toes. You don't have to tuck your toes for this, but I like to. It's like it's bringing the earth closer to me for when we bend backwards. So we'll bring our hands to our low back with the fingers facing up. This is really for like a stability point for the low back because we don't want the back to come back with us. We want it to keep our hips to keep pressing forward. So with your hands here, press the elbows in the midline toward each other, tuck your chin and begin to fall back. Let your shoulders fall back. I like to release my head, which then I can't talk, but then my neck is long, or you can keep your chin tucked as you come all the way back, and then maybe you release your hands to your heels or ankle. Maybe you get there and you want to release your head. Maybe you get there and you're like, this is okay. Then you can untuck your toes, and then it adds a little bit of a further stretch. Breathing here. To come out of this, walk your hands back to the low back and then lift yourself back up. And then we'll come to sit back on our heels. We'll do that one more time. If that does not sound yummy or delicious to you, you can come to a child's pose for a counter stretch. You can have your knees out wide or together. But if you're gonna do camel again, we'll come back onto our shins. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Bring the hands to the low back. You want the heel of the palm pressing into the sacrum, fingers pressing up. Press the hips forward and begin to lower. You can keep your hands on your back or bring them to the heel of the feet or your ankles. And really shine your heart forward or to the sky as your hips are drawing forward. You want to keep your hips stacked over your knees. Nice, Seal. Keep pressing your hips forward. Nice, Tara. Stay as long as you'd like to come out of it. Bring your hands to the back and then let your shoulders lift. Nice. And then we'll all meet in a child's pose. Slowly, that was a lot of back bending. Keeping your knees together, we'll add more of a low back stretch. Having your knees apart will be more of a hip stretch. Breathing here in Balasana. Close your eyes. Feel cozy. We did a lot of movement. We did a lot of movement. If your arms are out in front of you, start to walk your hands back and then come sit back up. You can stay on whatever you are on, but we'll come to sit on our glutes. Then to neutralize that back, we'll stretch our leg that long. To neutralize our back now, we'll do a twist. So stretch your legs out long in front of you and then bend the right knee and then bring the sole of the foot over the left thigh. You can stay here if that doesn't seem accessible to you. You can still twist that way. So you can also bring the foot outside of the left thigh and then bend that left leg, or you can keep the left leg long. So many options. Sit up tall. Bring the left arm out to a T outside, so right out of your shoulder, and then we'll spin it around, hug the right leg, bring the right arms, a lot of right and left, bring the right hand behind you, just like in the beginning, as you hug the right leg towards you with your left arm. You'll sit up tall and then twist, send your gaze over your right shoulder. I'm so sorry. I hope you're all following. Breathe here. A twist always feels nice after a back bend. And then we'll unwind, stretch that left leg out in front of you. Bring the right sole of the foot back to where it belongs, and then stretch that leg out in front. And we'll go the other way. So bend the left leg, stay here, or bring the sole of the left foot outside of the right thigh, stay here, or bend the right leg, grounding both sit bones, so don't tuck that right heel under. Bring the right arm out to a T, and then swim it around to hug your left leg, and then swim your left hand around behind you for a twist. Sitting up tall, opening the collarbones, send that gaze over the left shoulder. Ardha Matsyendrasana. I think it's Lord of the Fishes pose. Pretty sure that's what it's called. All right, we'll unwind. Bring the legs back out in front of you. Maybe you pad out your knees. And then we'll take a nice little hip opener stretch. So we'll bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet to touch. So like butterfly pose. I like to anchor myself. So I bring my hands behind me and lift up through my chest as I extend my arms, and then sort of walk my fingers towards my thighs and start to fold over. And then I'll bring my hands to my feet, press my elbows into my calves, and then just fold, rounding out the spine. Breathing deeply. Then start to slow your breaths, just like in the beginning. Tuck your chin, peel your way back up. Stretch your legs out in front of you. We'll do just like the beginning. Inhale to sweep the arms out and up. And then exhale, fold over your legs, but stay here. Let your hands either grab the feet, the ankles, the shins. Wherever you are, let your chin tuck, relax the back of your neck. Paschimottanasana. Maybe you sway back and forth. Maybe you actively stretch here, flexing the feet, pulling yourself closer towards your toes. Or you could just fall and just hang out. And then eventually we'll peel ourselves back up and come to our final resting pose, Shavasana. So move anything you have out of your way. Let yourself literally lay spread out so wide because you never get to do this. And just find your comfort. So layer up if you'd like. Maybe you roll a blanket beneath your legs. Maybe you wrap a blanket over you. Close your eyes. And start to sink into this pose. Let's do one more breath together. So everyone, inhale, squeeze your toes, squeeze your fingers into fists, scrunch your eyes, make your eyebrows furrow, and then exhale, let everything go, relax, sink into your mat, and just melt. Feel all the sensations that you feel. Check out, follow your thoughts, lose your breath. We did a lot of moving, a lot of twisting today. We did a lot of engaging of the core. Maybe you feel something stirring up in the belly or even the tops of the thigh as the core does extend down there. Notice wherever you're feeling the sensations and don't judge it. Don't mark it with a label saying that's not right, that's painful, or that doesn't feel comfortable, anything. Just notice what it is without judgment. Maybe you don't feel anything. Maybe you just feel tired. That's okay. Your work here is done. Now you can surrender into Mother Earth. Begin to deepen your breath. Follow your breath as it flows and washes over your whole body. Let it activate any movement in the toes and the fingers. Begin to roll out the ankles and the wrists. Or maybe you bring your hands to one hand to the stomach, one hand to your belly, one hand to the heart. Feeling held, feeling protected. We'll begin to bend the knees to the chest, one knee at a time, and then roll over to your right side into like a fetal position. Use this time to be grateful, be thankful for the vehicle life has given you, your body. Be thankful for all the journeys it's taken you. Be thankful that it got you through this entire practice today. All I see is kitten ears. And then begin to press into the left palm and sit your way all the way up. That was so cute, Tara. Come to a comfortable seated position. Back where we started. Close your eyes, bring your hands into heart center. Feel powerful. Feel empowered. Feel grateful. Feel feathery. Feel light. Feel warm. And then we'll lift the base of our thumbs to our third eye. Remember to trust the process. Enjoy the simple things. Live with intention. Slow down. And lastly, lean back, inviting light. Lastly, be present in every moment, no matter how mundane it feels. Exhale, lean over, sealing in your practice. Namaste.